Welcome to the Golden Square Podcast with your hosts, Linda Scott and Sharilyn Fisher. Are you ready? Because we're starting now.
Hey! Okay, so listen, everybody. Hey, where's my partner in crime? Okay, so tonight is her birthday, and she's celebrating her birthday. So somewhere down the line, could y'all wish Sharilyn Fisher a happy birthday? And she told me to tell everybody that she wants you to go out and vote, vote, vote. So, with that being said, I'm ready to get this show done because I know we got a lot to talk about. And I want to thank you all for joining us tonight, the Golden Square Podcast, where the gold is pure. So, let's get this thing started, okay? So, if Madam Producer, would you bring in our guest, please? Avery, Reggie, how you guys doing?
All right, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Avery, I still can't hear you. There's a delay. Can't hear. But Reggie, while they fix that right there, how have your day been?
Oh, it's been going great. I did a few things. I still went to the gym, got a little workout in, and came back.
Okay, so listen, tell the people a little bit about you, Reggie, because I want to tell them, but I want you to tell them so I don't mess up anything and don't miss you.
Okay, all right. Thank you. It's good to be here this evening. First of all, thank you for having me on tonight. I am a retired physical education teacher. Grew up in Oklahoma. I moved to California, lived there for 25 years, and retired and moved here to Texas. I work out, play sports, bowl, play basketball, fish, and do the spoken word. I've been visiting different churches here in Houston since I've been here. I'm on the north side of Houston, near Spring, actually, and just been having a good time since I've been here in February. I moved here in February this year.
Okay. Well, welcome to Houston. And we hope you're enjoying yourself, but you didn't have to tell all your physical stuff. Make me say, oh my God, I feel like I'm a lazy bum. I ain't doing nothing. Okay. But anyway, welcome to Houston. And Avery, are you ready?
I'm ready, ma'am. I'm here. Welcome to Houston, Mr. Reggie. Glad to have you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So not Reggie. Avery, would you tell the people a little bit about yourself as well?
Yes, ma'am. I am a honorable discharged United States Air Force veteran. 7 years I served stateside and overseas. I'm a paralegal working at a wonderful law firm here in Houston. I grew up off of 290 in the Cypress area of 290, and I've seen it grown. I enjoy working out. I am currently running for Congress this year as a write-in Republican candidate for U.S. Congressional District 38. It's not my first time in politics. This is my first time getting on the ballot this year, and I'm proud of that, to give the people a voice in U.S. Congressional District 38. So, hey, I'm here. I intend to win, and I'm moving forward. Thank you.
All right. Hey, I welcome that and welcome you and welcome you guys, period. Thanks for being here. I have the first question for you, Avery. And I know you say a
Yes, ma'am.
write-in Republican candidate. Now, I'm all about the Dems. Why would we write you in?
Well, as a write-in Republican candidate, you don't have to write me in if you don't want to go with the Republican Party. You can choose either to be an independent, a Democrat, a Libertarian, or a Green Party member. That's what I love about our democracy. You have options. I'm running as a write-in Republican candidate because every time I try to get on the ballot as an independent conservative, the Secretary of Elections of Texas would always deny me. So this time I paid to get on the ballot, and you can bet the phone calls have been going out ever since. And so that's
Ah,
why I'm running a Republican candidate in this election.
okay, that's understandable. But let me ask you this as well. So, saying the word Republican, you know what all the craziness that's going on with the Republican Party right now. That's kind of like a heavy pill right now to swallow, but I know it can be swallowed. Okay, but how would I and the other viewers trust that you're going to be for us to do the right thing, as we say, do the right thing? Uh, how we trust that factor?
Well, number one, we currently have an absentee congressman, Wesley P.
Mhm.
Hunt, who does not live in the district and who has filed fraudulent paperwork to be on the ballot this year. So that's a no-no. Number two, I live in the district. Okay. Number
Mm,
three, our district deserves a representative that stands for freedom, security, and opportunity. Number
mhm.
four, just because it's the grand old party, my motto is government of the people.
Good
And the
job.
Republican Party needs to come back to its roots. Abe Lincoln started Reconstruction with a component called reparation on the end of it that still has not been completed. So as I'm running as a Republican, I'm reminding my fellow Republicans we have to finish the job of Reconstruction and reparation. They go hand in hand. And the people, my number one job when I'm elected is to educate, be truthful, and be transparent with the constituents of District 38. That's why I'm running. They need a voice, need somebody to be honest with them. Fifthly, I don't get along to go along. So
Okay.
if it's not right for the country, if it's not right for my veterans or my senior citizens or my constituents of District 38, then I'm not going along with it. I can
So
think for
that is
myself.
that's what you're standing for, huh? All five of those points. You standing for all of that right now is what you're telling me. So
Yes,
and I'm
ma'am.
interested in
Yes, ma'am.
I know you said the education, I know you said the senior citizens, because I am a senior now. So by me being a senior, I'm interested in uh what you really gonna do for the seniors. Are you one of those who aiming to stop our Social Security? Because I worked hard for my Social Security, and for me to give it away because that's what I'm only listening to the Republican side now. I'm not saying that would be you, but how could we get that taken care of?
Number one, I want to make it quite clear. Okay. If it hadn't
Yes,
been for our seniors, I wouldn't be here. You all wouldn't be here. Okay. So
right.
we need to start treating our seniors with a golden glove. They've worked all their lives. They deserve special treatment. Okay. Whether it comes to Medicaid, Medicare, prescription drugs, or even just health care. Okay. We're
Mhm.
sending out too much money out this country, and our seniors should be getting the very best of everything. And that's my goal.
Right.
My goal is to make sure I
Mhm.
take care of my seniors, okay? Because they've
Right.
done a marvelous job taking care of us. It's time for us to give back, okay?
Yes. I am I'm all for that. I'm all for that because as me and a couple of other and welcome Ben, we've said that we are now the seniors, that we now have to go
Correct.
and set the standards that we were left behind because our big mamas are not here, our big daddies, all those people are not around now. So we're leading and looking forward to someone to take that torch and make sure the generation behind us is taken care of as well, not just being
Yeah.
selfish, saying, hey, I want my Social Security, but I do. But it's just um when we the people stop and think about what the golden glove with no holes in them. With the people stop and start thinking about you taking things away from us, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty hard. It's pretty crazy to go, oh, he's going to be a Republican. We're going to write him in. But I am so for the Democrats and the Republicans to stand together to make this world a better place. Because if we do number 45, and y'all know how I feel about 45, we're going to be in a hot mess. So that's why I was asking you, what do you stand for, so that the people could hear it from you and not from me.
Yes, ma'am. Well, remember, I mean, we all go to church. The Bible gives us in Psalm 72 God's guidelines for leadership, for character and leadership. So I say this to the voters: read that scripture when you go to the polls and let God help you decide. Whether you're Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Green, or Independent, we have a set standard that God requires of us. And we need to start adhering to it.
Okay.
Look, Miss Scott,
Yes.
that's the first time that a real anybody that's running for office has really used God as a reference, which we must continue to do, rather than fighting our religious standpoint. We didn't get here by just being who we are. We got here because we trusted in everything that God had led us to get to. And now, and you said something when you said you're looking for the Republicans and Democrat to stand up for us. If we put, I can say this because I'm not running for anything but to get well. If we put Donald Trump in the office, we are not going to have a society that a Congress or senators or anyone else who's going to fight for us together.
Right.
They're always going to be apart. Donald Trump is trying to become a dictator and not a president.
Right.
He wants to overshadow everything that Mr. Ayers just said, and it can't happen. We aren't doing our job, because what got us where we are is that we stuck together.
Right.
No matter what, no matter who, we stuck together. And now we're as far apart as the sun is from the moon. And we got to change some things. We got to go back to who we originally were. People who understood each other.
Right.
If you were in a crisis, the whole town was in a crisis.
Exactly.
Just for you. And so it's a tough thing and I'm glad we see Mr. Ayers running for an office in Houston.
Right.
But we got to have some of you in Florida. We got to have some of you all over the country. I'm gonna hush, because this is more than just an election.
It is.
This is a way of life for our kids.
And that's what I spoke with Mr. Ayers a few days ago, and that was my main thing that caught and stuck with me for him, was the love for the children and what he wanted to see happening in the school districts. And I was telling him that, or we were conversing about mentors. We need men to come together and get these young boys and mentor them, because a lot of things are happening with men saying, I don't want Kamala Harris as a president. She's a woman, and forgetting that they came from a woman. And anytime that you had a situation, you was going to call two people. Oh my God, a mama. Okay. So with Mr. Ayers, I want you to really let the people know who and what you're standing for. How you planning to fix all of this that we know is broken at the moment? Oh, we can't hear him. I think he's muted. If you can unmute yourself. We can't hear him.
Okay, why he's getting unmuted?
Yeah. Go ahead.
You look at your panel.
Mm-hmm.
You have 3 black men,
Yes.
and we're all from different places at
And
different
right.
times.
Yes.
You have a young black man, and I know I'm 65, so but we're trying to make we want to say this here. If you want men and black men to come back to the community, let them in. Let them operate as men and not as little boys. Because we've been a little boy. Now
Right.
let us raise some boys. You can't expect us to do a man's job treating us like a boy. We are men.
Exactly.
And we stand up for I stand up for what's right or what's if it ain't right, I'm gonna tell you. And so when you look at your panel, they didn't get here and you said the first person they called is old God. Oh no. The first person we called is old mama.
Oh, mama.
Yeah, call my mama. Because my mama know how to get in touch with God.
True that.
We don't know how to get it. We didn't know how to get in touch with God at that time. But call mama.
Mm-hmm.
If you call mama, first of all, she gonna calm you down. What's wrong, son?
Right.
What you need me to do? We have got to go back to our roots. And first of all, we got to start respecting our black ladies. We don't respect them like we used to. How
True.
in the same, excuse my language, because I'm going to have to use it because this is what's flowing on the streets. And we need these 2 men who, I don't know if Mr. Love is running for office or not, but Mr.
No.
Ayers, it's so hard on you because I have never seen my mom as a bitch or a hoe.
Right.
Okay, so just let me say that because now that's the prevalent word in our music, in our conversations, and everything that you hear now. Oh, that bitch or that hoe. No, that's not our women.
Right.
You're better than that. Nobody can talk. I don't have a mother right now, but I got 4 sisters living, and they would never be any of those. Now they'll all be crazy, but they won't be hoes and bitches.
Yeah.
So just make that very clear. I'm sorry, Lynn, if I can't use it. I'm sorry, but that's
fine. You're fine. You're fine. We want the
nobody's ever
truth.
going to make my sister be that. Nobody, not me.
Yeah.
And that's the respect we have to go back to. That's the respect we have to go back to. Because we weren't raised calling each other those particular names.
Right.
And so if we talk about Miss Harris, obviously somebody raised her right.
Correct.
They educated her. They gave her tools. Now, the choices she made, she still has the answer to God too. Wrong, right, or indifferent. Correct. We have to listen. I'm talking so much because I hurt.
Okay.
But you know, Linda, we're right. You're right. We're on the right course with putting men in place.
Right. And that's what Avery, I know you're running for US Congress, and I want to say you're gonna win. I want to say you're gonna win. I'm gonna say it. You're gonna win, even though we're writing you in. But when you get there, what are you gonna do for us?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, number one, like-minded people will work together for the best of the country. Okay. Number two, I want to answer Mr. Ben. Whether it's Donald Trump or whether it's Kamala, we still have a constitution. We still have a Bill of Rights. We still have 3 branches of government that will all check and balance. So if Trump wins, he still has to follow the same constitution, the same Bill of Rights as we all do. Okay? Don't forget, we put Nixon out the White House back in 73. So Trump can also get put out the White House just like Kamala. Okay? So moving forward as a nation, we're all on Team America. Okay? We're all here in this together. Okay? And when I am elected, the first thing I want to do is call 2 things in my district: a men summit,
yes,
and an ex-offender. Okay? Because I need men back in my community. Okay? I need men to start setting the example because we have a responsibility to ourselves, our family, our neighborhood, our state, and our country. Okay. Thirdly, if they've never known how to be fathers, you can't be a father looking at rap music. You can't be a father uh, walking around with your pants down. Anybody can make a baby, but it takes a father to grow up and do what is right. Because when I grew up, like I say, my father wasn't there, but he showed up every now and then. My mother
Mhm.
and my sister, we knew because we represented the family when we stepped out that door. We represent the
Right.
family when we went to school. We represent the family in anything you did, whether it was sports, whether it was in your homework, whether it was just walking the neighborhood or interacting with your friends or your friends' parents. You represent the family, and that's what we're going to have to get back to. And it's going to take all of us to get back on Team America, page one, men doing what they need to be doing.
Oh, you're so right, and I'm so happy. I'm happy because
Wait,
that's what I want to hear from the men. You got something to say, Reggie?
Yes, it's good to be here tonight. Uh, yes, with everything that is going on, just so quick, this is not my poem, but with everything that's going on, just a reminder, one little line from Daniel. Daniel told the king, for 7 years, you're going to be insane. But after that, God will give you back your reign. Daniel said this will be done so that everybody on earth will know no one can rise to power unless God says so. So nobody can get into the office unless God allows them to get in there. But I do like it that, as he mentioned the Reconstruction earlier, many don't realize that in 1896, Plessy versus Ferguson, that he was only 1/8 black. And they still didn't want him sitting up there in the front of the train. So we're still trying to overcome that, as Dr. King put it. Many are trying to have a false sense of inferiority, and some have a false sense of superiority. And so we're still trying to overcome that. And so therefore, Maslow's hierarchy of need comes into play, because a kid can't learn if he's hungry. So we need those food programs and things of that nature.
Okay, so Avery, you got the food program, but we voting for you.
Yes, ma'am.
We writing you in, and we know what we need. As Reggie just said, we just want to make sure that you're doing just what we're asking for, the little things, and that's to get our kids behind us to grow up to be men, to grow
Well,
up to be young ladies, to be
correct. Well, it
fed
all starts in the
properly.
home. Yes, ma'am. Correct.
see, Mr. Avery, let me say
Well,
this right here.
okay. Everything starts in the home. Okay. And we know we have dysfunctional families. So we're not going to be kidding ourselves tonight. We're going to be real. Okay.
That's what we're
We
doing.
have a
Okay,
lot
that's
of
what.
broken homes.
Yes.
Fathers are not taking their God given responsibilities to heart. Okay. I mentor 4 young men. Okay. And I love them as if they're my own. But, I can do my part, but it's when we all come together. If these kids are hungry, why are we sending so much money out the country feeding other kids when we need to be feeding our own kids first and foremost? Okay. After before school program, after school program, even on weekends, those schools. No, what I see is those schools are just sitting open on weekends. There's nothing going on. You know, that's where you can have, you know, tutoring sessions. That's where you can have food for them to eat. Because we pay for this out of our tax dollars. So in my district alone, I have 7 ISDs in there. Okay, so you can bet your bottom dollar I am a man of vision. Okay, I like to be creative and innovative. So if those schools are closed on weekend, let's open them up and feed these kids. You got food in
All
there.
right.
Okay, we're not
Right.
rationing out nothing. This ain't no World War II. Okay, this is America. We had people take care of us when we were kids. I had to before and after school program in Cyprus, Georgia Village, Cyprus ISD. Okay, so we seem to have gotten off the principles of our country of feeding and taking care of our youth. Okay, because one youth can make a difference. You can make a difference in any child's life when you're taking
Mm-hmm.
care of them. If you see they need a belt, go get them. If you see they need some shoes, go get some shoes for them. See what's going
Right.
on,
Right.
and then go knock
Right.
on the door. See, that's why the church is the spiritual background. I mean, the spiritual foundation of America. Our church leaders have got to get back in the fight. Instead of saying on Sunday, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Saturday morning men's meeting, we need to be in the neighborhood.
Exactly.
There's a scripture in Isaiah that says, you know, we're not just Christians. We're supposed to feed, clothe those that are less fortunate than us. And America has not been doing that. We've been feeding foreigners before we feed and clothe each other. We can't continue this. We cannot continue this.
Amen.
And one of my priorities is I'm going to make sure that like I said earlier, one of my top priorities is to inform, educate, be truthful, and be transparent. That means if I got to come back and tell y'all what they're doing, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
Hey, they don't need to be in office anymore. This is what they're doing. Okay? You put them in there, get them out of there. Okay? Oh, it's going to be they're going to hate me. I'm going to tell you, they're going to hate me. Okay?
So we know that you would be in there doing the right thing. That's all we want. We want somebody who's going to be in there, do the right thing, protect our children, feed our children. And I'm not saying just food, but the mental capacity of our kids has to be reached as well. Learning and teaching our kids how to respect everyone, not just a woman, but respecting everyone, because children do what they see. So if you walking around saying, I ain't got nothing, what they gonna say? The little baby will say just what you said. I ain't got nothing. So we have to go back into the village, as you said, the church and all, and the church was a part of the village. But we have to go back into the village. We need the leadership, such as yourself, to guide us, to bring us, not saying that we're going backwards, but we're going forward and helping the generation to come forward along with us. So I'm for you. I ain't trying to blast you down. I want to make sure you get all the information out there to the people that needs to be done. I want to know our tax money is going somewhere. It ain't in the schools. Where's the tax money going?
Okay.
You know,
let me answer that.
Go ahead.
One of my, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Ben.
No, go. The people need to hear from you. Go.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you. And I please forgive me for over talking you. One of my key components on my platform is called the Accountability and Financial Act. What I intend to do is give every constituent in my district a 10-page letter stating exactly where their tax dollars are going, because they have a right to know where the money is. Right. You have a right to know. So within the first 6 months of me being in office, I'm going to have my staff put that together. I'm going to mail it out. They're going to get it in the mail. They're going to get an email. Okay. They're going to know when they read that 10-page, this is where your money going. Okay. This is the money that's going out the country that should be coming back into 38. Okay. The help. Mm-hmm. So that's part of my platform is to inform, to educate, to be truthful and transparent with the people.
Okay. So I'm taking my notes. So now let me ask you this about this here 10-page. You sending 10 pages out to District 38, or are you going to email them? But what if I don't receive that information? How can you guarantee that I'm going to get that information from you?
When I do my town halls every month, I'm going to make sure I'm going to bring a stack with me. So if you say, hey, Mr. Avery, I didn't get one of those Accountable and Financial Act statements you sent out. First thing I'm going to do is say, I need your name, your email address, and your address before I give you one. That way, the next time I send it out, I know you're going to get it.
Okay. All right. What you say, Mr.
That way, there's yes, ma'am.
There is so much that we want to see this young man do. We got to first do, Linda, is define community.
Yeah,
because we don't know community no more. Because there's a community within the community. There's a this within that. But we have to define some things. And finding out where our money is going, finding out the finances that we're spending, finding out how we're taking care of a country that doesn't care nothing about us. We have to define who we are. And the plan that Mr. Ayers has is to help us to find our communities. See, we don't count the community anymore because we're so large and everybody's going everywhere. But this community, what is this community? Who is this community? Who lives here? How are we gonna bring the community in when the community don't know that they're a part of us?
And the community, yeah.
They don't know that they're a part of this community because nobody talks to them, because nobody writes them, nobody says anything to them until this time of year. We have to be. We're a lifetime community. I'm living in the same spot I grew up in.
Right.
So I know my community, but my community has changed too.
Right. Right.
The big mama, the people that would say, "Boy, I'm gonna tell your mama." Do y'all know how scared that was right there? Scary that was.
But wait, she said, "Boy, I'm gonna tell your mama," after she don't whoop you.
Wait, the community. You see what I'm saying? The community.
Yeah.
We're building so many different schools. Listen, I'm gonna say this here because it's passionate for me. Stop building schools that are for our white counterpart, but you got to fulfill it with taking kids out of our communities and starting new games. And I'm gonna give you an example. I just want y'all to hear this here. In Delray Beach, on one corner, a kid can live here, he goes to Boca High School. A kid can live here, he goes to Spanish River High School. A kid can live right here, he goes to Atlantic High School. A kid can live on this corner and go to Olympic High School. So now the community is split. Not the white community, but our community is split to satisfy the ratio of blacks to white in a school. That has to stop. We're creating things. Well, why are there so many games? We didn't have nothing like a game until our communities got split up. They all played for one team. It was called the Delray Rocks. They all played for that team. They all came up through that system. Some of our greatest athletes, the Bobby Butlers, the Wesley, Mo Wesley, Barry Hill, they all came up through that system, and the list goes on and on. Correct. But when we got to the point where now we don't want to go, we don't want our children in this neighborhood. We'll build a school out west of here and bust our kids over there. We went to a school in Boca Raton and had to run if we stayed after school to play sports. Come on, that has to stop. And it's not just in Delray Beach, Florida. It's all across the world. You can see the split. We have to stop this shit. I hope somebody is going to say if you want to build a school, you need to have enough kids in that section or in that area or in that community.
That's why we got Mr. Ayers on here.
And I'm hoping. I don't want to put all that on him, but it's a lot.
Ayers to do this.
Listen, the Bible, we can quote the Lord. It says, "The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want."
That's it.
He makes us to lie down well in green pastures. Our pastures aren't green because we're not protecting them anymore. We're not cultivating the pasture. He made it for us to lay down in, but what are we doing to keep it green? That's the question. And it's been put on your back right now for District 38. And for District 38, it's been put on your back.
Well,
we pray for you. We pray that you.
Well, here's the thing.
We pray.
Keep me in prayer. Keep me in prayer because I'm a fighter. Okay, I'm a military man. I see everything in a military fashion because it's the only way to get some things done. Once again, I understand what you said, Mr. Ben. By the grace of God, I was fortunate that I didn't have that because parents ran the household, the community, and the school, and the teachers. Okay,
That's right.
We have to get back to that, and that's why I said one of my first agendas once I'm elected is to have a men's meeting within 38. I'm not going to hold it just once. I'm going to hold it throughout the week so every man can come because I need to know who you are. I need to know what you do. You need to know who I am. I need to know what district you live in. What community you live in, because we have resources that's been hidden, okay,
Mm,
and tucked away
Mhm.
somewhere, okay,
yes.
that
Yes.
is used for this. Secondly, I'm not going to leave the women out. I need the women folk, okay? They're just as important as the men folk,
A
okay?
Of
must
course.
have.
But
Of
we got to
course.
get on team. We got to get team parental, okay? If we're going to clear this nonsense up, all right? Giving your child cell phones and send them on their way, that's not it. That's not it.
Thank
One
you.
of the things that I would love to do is instill school uniforms. Because when the last time y'all been to a high school or junior high school?
Well, I work at one.
When the last time y'all been to one?
No,
Listen.
I work
So
one.
you
I'm a
know,
basketball coach for girls.
so you
So
So,
see when they go to
oh,
school, you see how they look.
well,
but
let me
Okay,
say,
teachers,
let me say
we
that.
need to
Let
bring
me
don't
that.
even
ask.
know nothing.
I've heard Mr. Ben say that he's a basketball coach for girls. I coach girls basketball team, and just what you just said, and what Ben said about that community. I actually went with my girls that was on the team. Let me get with the parents, and they had to be dressed just alike down to the T. Nobody was better than the next person. Give me the
Mhm.
money. We're taking them to the mall. They're
That's
getting the
right.
shoes because they stopped giving us money. And I went to my godmother to put their names and the basketball on their polo shirts. So every game day, my girls had to look like girls and wear their uniform, pre-uniforms, walking around the campus, and they know they played basketball. So we still do have to go rebuild that community. We have to get
Community.
all the parents, as
Mm-hmm.
many parents as we possibly can. One second, Reggie. As many parents as we possibly can, because we know the working parents nowadays, the parents now are working parents. And that's not an excuse because our
Correct.
parents worked and they was to the games.
Mhm.
And even if daddy wasn't, mama wasn't daddy, but somebody was there to represent. And that alone helps build our kids' self-esteem. That alone.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Reggie.
Oh, just real quick, yeah. I like what you said about that uniformity. And because it reminds me, since you all have read the Bible also, I call it the Nathaniel complex. It didn't mean that Nathaniel was a bad person, but in other words, he didn't think that any good could come from Nazareth. You know, he thought that he was better. You know, when Philip said, Nathaniel, we found the Messiah, you know, the one the scriptures are talking about. He is Jesus of Nazareth. And Nathaniel said, can any good come from
I'm out
Nazareth?
of what?
But when Jesus saw him coming, he said, "Here comes an Israelite whom there is no guile." So we have to get rid of the generalizations and stereotypes. Looking in the mirror and know that we are no better than anyone else because you in Katy or you in Spring. I don't know the suburbs here that well. I just moved here in February,
Right,
or Rosenberg, or other different places down there, Sugarland, where Gladys
right.
Knight gonna be next week. But but we have to instill that in our children. That he mentioned, that starts at home. Let them know to go out there and be the best. You be the best. My
That you can
parents
be.
always use dish digger. If you're gonna be a dish digger, you go out there and be
Be
the best
the
dish
best
digger
big
out
jigger.
there.
That's
And so
right.
we have
That's
to
right.
instill that into them, no matter what side of the city or what neighborhood they live in. Let them know that they can be the best.
You're right. And Avery, all I can say, we got to have your back because you're going down the right road. And of course, you need the pushers to help you continue to get down where you need to go. We're talking good. I hope they pray
Right.
y'all support him. Oh, yeah. Charlie Perkins, it's time to start somewhere. You're right, Miss Perkins. You're right. You can see the message down at the bottom. So she's hoping and she's saying you're starting somewhere. So Avery, how can we help other than write you in and vote? And I know it's I ain't gonna never say it's too late because it ain't too late. But we're here now to push this as far as we can get it, and we're praying that God allow you to win this race.
Well, let me give y'all show you how good God is. when I got on this ticket, he opened up several doors that surprised me, that I was not expecting it. Okay. So I know I'm here for a reason, to bring
Yes.
a voice of reason, a voice of compassion, a voice of love for country and my fellow men and women. If it's only been 4 days of early voting, I am a voter's deputy registered, so I can tell you the numbers are off the chart right now. But if people want to vote for me in District 38, there are 32 zip codes in that district. I think I gave it to you, Miss Linda, to show
Yes.
them when they go into the poll an example of how they can vote for me. Because today I was at the Steve Raddick polling station today, center, and I was out there holding up my sign, and I had several individuals come up to me and tell me, "We voted for you because Hunt don't live in the district." And
Okay.
it just made my heart jump for joy today. So, I mean, it's quite easy. My name is simple, it's double A, but God gave me a good name, and it's going to be an even better name when I become a congressman, because people are going to realize I'm just like everybody else. I put my pants on like you do. Okay. I get up and go to work for you because I represent you with love and honesty. And if that's what people are looking for, then I am their candidate, their write-in candidate.
And that's what people are looking for, and you are that person. I'm trying to get some more information out there so that they can have that information for you. So I'm
Yes, ma'am.
all for I like the fact that you're out at the different poll stations and getting yourself recognized. And because if you don't fight for you, who fight?
Well, because
Who
let me tell you
fight?
something. Correct.
Say
I
it
was
again.
in Tomball the other day. Correct. I was in Tomball. Wednesday morning. Okay, and I had my big sign out there. Okay, I took my best friend mother to vote. She's a senior citizen, and so as we're going through the line, I'm speaking to everybody, and they're looking at me like I've seen him somewhere. I've seen him somewhere. And one of them was like, "Oh, he was on that yellow sign over there. That's him." So it made me feel good that the voters are paying attention.
Right.
And once we got inside, one of the ladies was like, "Are you here to vote for yourself?" I told her I'd done that on Monday. I'm here with my best friend mother, getting her in here right now. And we laugh. And and like I say, my campaign is under the hand of God, because the things that I stand for, the reason why I'm running, I know God has His hand in this, and nobody. I mean, get on board with me, help me get the word out, and let's praise the Lord all the way to Congress.
All of it, and then after you win, we still praising him because we want to make sure you got what you need.
Yes, ma'am. We
I
still,
need
still praise Him. Yes, ma'am.
I have Reggie. I know you wrote a spoken word about this election. This election is so important, y'all. We have so many things that we have to fight for, that we're gonna fight for, and that we're gonna win. And my biggest thing is I have nieces, I have granddaughters, I have cousins, women that I need for them to be able to say what they're gonna do with their own body, not nobody else telling them what to do. And I'm one of those women. Trump probably had to do something to me because I don't obey men very well. So there's 3 on here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't. I don't.
Yeah.
Reggie, I don't listen. I don't take Reggie. No, see, he'll have to put me in the back room somewhere. Y'all put her in the back room. But on the real deal, I'm so excited for you, Avery, that I don't even know what to do and where to go. However,
Yes,
Reggie,
ma'am.
let me go ahead and let you drop this spoken word so that we can hear your talent.
Okay, sure. Now you want to hear the one on Kamala Harris, or do you want to hear I Cried first?
I want you to do what you want to do first.
Okay, we'll go ahead and do, because I don't know how the time is running. I think we'll go ahead and do a Kamala. This was written 4 years ago when she was running for vice president. It's been said the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. For Donald and Sharilyn, this was true as could be. She was born in Oakland, California, October 20th, 1964, and she would be one who would help others even the score. Now, her mother, being concerned for women, would answer. She spoke out against domestic violence and was a scientist for breast cancer. Her father studied at Stanford and UC Berkeley without fail. He was a faculty fellow at Cambridge and a visiting professor at Yale. Now, going to kindergarten should be a time full of fun, laughter, and cheer, but Berkeley's desegregation was only in its second year. When her and her sister went to visit their father in Palo Alto, they were cutting no slack. The neighborhood kids refused to play with them because they were Black. At age 12, her and her sister and mother moved to Canada, and the stage was set. She graduated in 1981 from Westmount High in Quebec. She then attended Howard University, and not just for kicks, she graduated a double major in 1986. She joined debate teams and helped local youth groups organize, joined Alpha Kappa Alpha, and demonstrated against apartheid. By 1989, for Life Aspect, she was ready to go. She got a doctor of law from Hastings in San Francisco. And even though it made many people gripe and frown, she opposed the death penalty and never backed down. Now, in 2003, she finished on a high note, DA of San Francisco, with 56% of the vote. So know your history. Don't make me have to scorn you. In 2010, she was elected Attorney General of California. In 2016, she ran for senator, showing she was not done. And when all the votes were counted, Kamala Harris had won. I now believe she's heaven sent. 2024, Kamala Harris for president. I'm Reggie Love. I approve this message.
Yeah, we with you, bro. We with you.
Hey, that was the education part right there.
That's really good. Can I ask, Mr. Ayers, you said you're a veteran. I'm a veteran also.
Me too. I'm a veteran also.
Thank you.
That's good. Mr. That's nice. So
thank y'all for your service.
Listen, we have to do some of these systems. It's taking too long. Like right now, I need a GI from it. You know when they told me they can do it for me? February or March. They gave me a community number. You know when they called me? Not yet. So when they call, and this is just part of the issues that's going on. We serve just like anybody else. Black men died and died and died for this country. And we tired of being last. That's for sure. We're tired of being last. As important as our communities are, our veterans are just that important also. And so we need help. We need to be stopped. We don't need them to keep denying us for compensation that we have attained during, some went through wars and some just went in and were there. But we went. And we were willing, had they been in a altercation or somewhere we had to go overseas, we were there to go. It wasn't backing down. We were there to go. The veterans is very important to me. Now that I see how much we need. Once you turn 65, it's not a work time. We don't want to work all the time. We want to get to a doctor. We don't want to say, okay, we'll schedule you 4 months in advance. Like I told the doctor today, I could die by the time y'all get a GI tract down my throat. I've been in the hospital and out of the hospital. So some veterans don't have a platform to talk to. Our veterans are living on the street because someone really have some mental issues that went through the different wars. We have to, and I hope you hear me because you know too, you come out, you're blessed, you're healthy, you're young. For our veterans, I'm pleading, and although you're in Houston, you can make a difference all over the world. If you start the process, they'll have to listen because you're articulate, you're brave, you're humble, and you're God-fearing. And I should put that first. You're God-fearing, you're humble, you're artistic. You're articulate. You can articulate what we need from being a veteran. So
Amen.
please don't just, I know we have a lot of things that we need to get done, but the two things that we talked about tonight, veterans and children and families, that needs to be priority, because our kids don't understand that if they go to the Army or if they go somewhere, and if they don't go to war, if they go to war, they're going to be taken care of the right way. They're going to get an education. They can go back and use their grants to go to school. Some kids won't get what they need at home, but if they go into the Army, they build a whole nother family. If they go into the Air Force, it's a whole nother family. If they go into the Navy, I do not tell kids don't go into the, some kids aren't ready for this world out here. They're not ready for college. But get them something where they're going to mature. One of the four branches, and even the National Guards, is there for them. We have to stop saying college.
Correct.
Go to school, go to school, because everybody's not school material.
Linda.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's not school material.
Okay. I hear you. Correct. I hear you. I'm a veteran. So I go to the VA. Okay. So I know what you're talking about. Okay. And, being a paralegal, I look at them and they know, okay, he's not the one that we really want to play with. No, because
Right.
I understand rules, regulations, and statutes. I know how to get
Right.
around the red tape. And,
Right.
and secondly, when it comes to benefits, you shouldn't have to fight for your benefits. Okay.
Right.
But
Right.
when you have, see, this is the problem. We keep putting people in office that's not military. When we grew up, half of Congress was military. So the veterans were getting taken care of. Now we have a laissez-faire Congress of people that talk a good talk about the veterans. We're going to be here for the veterans. No. If you ain't going in that VA getting the services or getting postponed treatments that you need, then we have a problem. We have a problem. I don't care whether you were an E1 to an O10. The VA is supposed to be there 150% for our veterans. And Mr. Ben, if I can help you with anything, because I go to the Houston main VA hospital off of Alameda, okay? So if I can help you with anything, if you're having trouble getting your benefits, let me know. Let me see the paperwork. Let me work it out for you, okay? And let's get you going, okay? Because your appointment for your upper GI, I had an upper GI, so I know what you're going through, okay? They postponed mine, but then once I started making phone calls to the director, my upper GI came through, okay? So if I can help you, you let me know, okay?
Yeah,
Because that's what I do. I have a heart for helping people.
Well, I'm happy for you, and I am so don't want y'all to go, because this is more than what I even imagined that was going to take place. But Avery, I need you to, let me ask the matter producer to put up how people will write you in step by step. So I don't want nobody to miss it. I'm praying that you win. She said, I don't have it. Can you send it to her, Avery, right quick? The steps for the United States Representative District 38.
Let me see. Hold on.
Let's do that. But while he's doing that,
you're not zip code 77073.
Let me see here.
While you doing that, go ahead. What did you say, Reggie?
Oh, I was asking, was he in zip code 77073?
You gave a lot of numbers. It's only 5, Reggie.
Do what?
Yeah,
that's
no. Let me find it.
77073.
I'm looking for you.
Okay. So 073 is what he is, Reggie. I had that as well, but I don't see a Congress with no veterans experience. Just like these people with no children telling you how to raise kids. You're absolutely right, Miss Sharilyn. So yeah, this whole place is crazy. I don't know. I don't know. But Avery, you're gonna fix this. Well, you got a load coming to you. You're gonna fix a lot of this stuff. We really need you in, and allow God to use you the way that He has set. So Want to share this? Okay, so Reggie, you want to share your second poem?
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, this encapsulates how I believe I'm not only myself, but many people felt on November the 4th, 2008. So I give you I Cried, the very last poem in Poems of Inspiration from Genesis to Revelation. I knew it was coming as I watched the results come in, and I sighed. But when they announced Obama the winner, I cried. Because Daddy and Big Mama and others didn't live to see November 4th, 2008, a major day in American history. I sit there really not knowing what to do, but with tears in my eyes, I said, Obama, I'm proud of you. Oh, I looked as many laughed and yelled and jumped to their feet. But I thought about all the years we had to take the back seat. I thought about when this nation was formed and blacks were ridiculed and murdered and scorned. The road to freedom was not easy, but many tried. And when I thought about their hardships, I cried. I thought about Jane Pittman's son being taken from her side and killed for no reason, and I cried. I thought about Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921, when many blacks were killed, one by one. I thought about Martin and Bobby and JFK. If only they could have lived to see this day. I thought about Alabama, from Selma to Montgomery, and the marchers who survived Bloody Sunday. Oh, I sit there crying, but still, as I thought about the death of Emmett Till. I'm proud of Obama, but when I thought about all those who had died, I sit there alone in my front room, and I cried. We can now attend any school and play any sport, but no one should ever be content just because at long last a black man became president. And now it's 2024. This is no time to become slack. We must join Kamala Harris and say we're not going back.
All right.
Good job, man.
Good job.
Absolutely.
Good job. Absolutely.
Man.
So we actually
Reggie, do you print that? Do you have a book of those writings, or do you just?
Yeah, that's it right there. Can you see that? I'll step aside.
What's the name? They say, let's go, Reggie. So,
Poems of Inspiration from Genesis to Revelation. That's it right there.
All right.
Okay.
And that's my phone number also, 562-326-2637. Still have my California number, but of course I'm right here in Houston.
No, that's fine. Everybody got different
Don't sit
numbers.
down yet.
They say don't sit down. They're trying to write it in. So it's right there on the page right there. So Reggie, you can have a seat. It's right there on the page.
I want to get a picture of it.
Oh, he wanted to get a picture.
I got it. I got the picture.
Okay.
Got it.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you all want to reach out to Mr. Love, there's his info right there at the bottom. Reggie, good job. We're waiting on Avery to come back. But if he doesn't, I know he gave you his phone number, Madam Producer. Can you put his number up for us? How you all could reach him and the directions of how to write him in. And I know he'll be more than willingly to give you step by step on how to do so. Because I know all you have to do is let people know I'm a write-in. And when you go into the voting booth, just look for number 1, Wesley Hunt. He's a Republican. Melissa McDougal, she's a Democrat. And write in, click in the box, type his name. So again, his number is there, and you can reach out to him, and he will be glad to help you. And you can always go back to this and get his number and put this man in Congress, y'all. We need him. Go ahead, Reggie.
Oh, just real quick, just want to mention, because when I started writing, there are many people who came before me. So I just want to throw her out there because she was a woman also. I don't know if you've ever heard of Frances Harper. Frances Ellen Harper was a black woman who lived from 1825 to 1911. And she wrote various poems about slavery, abolition, and women's rights. And she didn't really get her credit while she was due. So I always do her poems sometime during Black History Month. Poems like Learning to Read. I don't do Bury Me in a Free Land anymore. It's a little bit too graphic, but she really told how it was. Frances Harper.
All right. Good job. So, y'all, the clock on the wall says it's time for us to go, y'all. So I want to thank each and every one of you, and especially Avery Ayers. And guys, we need you to support him. We need him to be in Congress, District 38. So you know where it is. Look it up and write him in. We need his guidance. We need someone who's strong, who can support the community so that we could do, as Mr. Ben say, learn the community, what and who are in our community. So at this point, I got to say goodnight by myself. But before I do so, I want to ask you all to go to our Facebook page, the Golden Square Podcast, like and share, and also subscribe on our YouTube channel, the Golden Square Podcast. So again, I thank you for your time, and I thank you guys for your time. And I'll see you next week. Good night.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Toya, good night. Oh, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. There it is. That's how you write him in. It's there, and you can go back and look at it and do so. Please follow those steps and let's put him in. All right. Congratulations and good luck, sir.